Oh, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 729 of FloWrestling Radio Live. I'm your host, Christian Piles, joined today by James Dean Rader and Ben Funky Askren. And we teased it a little bit yesterday. Logan Massa looks like he's coming back. This tweet from Sean Bormet seems to say it all. Those who stay, Micic, Amin, and Massa in the picture here. Team 100, go blue. And this is the final cog that Coach Bormet needs, I think, for his team to really make a push. And now that Massa's back and it's official, the team race officially on, officially more juice, all the juice, maximum juice.
Super official.
It's super official.
Hey, I think this is actually an FRL production because we told them to have a plan for Detroit. We were talking about this 2 years ago about how they need to have a plan for Detroit, and now they have a plan for Detroit.
And you gotta give credit. We did not put Nick Soriano in that plan.
Well, that was pretty creative thinking there.
Now, and I kind of wish Joey Silva was involved in this plan as well, but it's still all things considered a great plan, and
yeah,
it's going to be I don't know the circumstances around convincing Logan to come back, but I'm glad.
Where does Joey Silva fit in this plan?
Wherever he wants. No, he doesn't actually fit that great at 41 or 33. Really, I don't know if he beat Ragusan at this point, so tough to say.
Yeah,
a Silva-less world. So that's big news, and excited to see that team in full force. I guess that won't be till second semester, but when we do, it'll be interesting. They don't duel Iowa, but they do face Penn State.
Nice. So I said yesterday how good I thought the Arizona State lineup was, and your guy, I don't know if I should have had you guys have this ready, but your guy, Mr. Spay, put up what the January 3rd duel in Austin could look like, and it is a lot of fun. Is there any way we have the graphic by chance or no?
Well, we all follow Spay. We could probably pull it up pretty quickly here.
Yes.
I mean, right off the bat, you would have Soriano versus Courtney.
Yes.
So an NCAA finalist versus an NCAA champion in the very first match. Would love to see that. 33 Ragusan versus McGee. It's a great match.
You got the tweet now?
Yeah, I've got it here. I'm just sending it to TB12 method over here.
Midget versus Esquez, Store versus Parco, Luan Teamer, Camamine, Anthony Valencia, Massa versus Kyle Valencia. They got to pull Kyle at this point if they're not. I don't know what they're doing. And then, Miles Amin, and I don't know who number is. They need to find it. They need to go to the transfer portal and start throwing some NLI dollars at someone. Bracky versus Norfleet, Paris versus Schultz. That is an awesome duel.
Yeah, every match is basically ranked versus ranked. A lot of All-American versus All-American matches. We just have to. I'm not sure who number is either.
Who's the best? Who's the best backup at 184 right now?
Best backup at 180. Well, Abe Assad.
Let's get someone better.
Wow, guy's a little. I was like top 12 as a true freshman.
There's gotta be someone better than that, right?
All right, Clayton Whiting.
He's not eligible.
Oh, I don't know then.
Okay,
if Abe Assad is not a quality enough backup for you.
Okay, he's quality. Josh Number is 3-5, and he's ranked at number 219 by WrestleStat.
Okay. Top 250.
It's not going to get it done.
No. They could use someone, probably use someone else there, but it is what it is. So that's going to be a great duel. Can't wait for that one. And yeah, Spay doing a good job getting the people hype. Jason Nolf took out Ketek Sabalov at the Wolnick. Kyle Snyder did not wrestle. His opponent, I guess, was out with injury. Is that right, JD? You're our Russian.
Lame.
You're just a Russian.
Yeah, he was supposed to wrestle Zabrailov. I'm not 100% sure why he did not wrestle. Could be injury, could be sickness, could be he didn't want to. I don't know.
Okay. Kyle Snyder
I saw him on
Sadulayev constantly. They are just boys now.
Yes.
Brothers forever. They're dancing.
I don't like it. I will not accept it.
All right.
I agree. I want them to be rivals.
Yeah.
This man defeated America. It came down to these two.
Twice.
Yeah. Twice. Twice in like 3 months.
I get it if you're Sadulayev.
Yeah, great guy. Yeah. But I mean, I guess it's good balance for Snyder not to like hate the guy, but just pretend.
And Snyder's always been the it's not about winning and losing. It's about being the best you can be. Like that's always been his thing.
That is admirable, but that's just not like the
selfishly, I want them to hate each other more than anything in this world.
It's all about what we want, not about what he wants.
It's more
I want them to have pictures of each other on their mirror that they look at every morning when they're doing their 4 a.m. runs.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, we need that.
Hey, Rick Wasmer in the chat. Rocky Jordan to Arizona State.
Okay. I wonder. I bet Abe has beaten Rocky Jordan, but yeah, that would work as well.
Okay. How about Caleb Romero to Arizona State because the Jordan family is so close to Ohio State. So we'll send Caleb Romero to Arizona State for a prospect and backup to be named later.
Yeah, they should throw him. They should throw him like Klebov or something at 33.
Yeah, that'd be now we're talking.
We're wheeling and dealing here.
Wheeling and dealing.
Okay. So that's what's going on in Russia. That's it was a good. I mean, Nolf kind of Sabalov. He got the opening score, and then Nolf just sort of ran away.
We are far from peak Sabalov.
Yes.
This man, it did not take long for him to get tired. Start taking very, very bad shots.
It'll always horrible shots, and he was leaving.
His opening fireman's was very nice though.
He was leaving his legs wide open for Nolf, who is not someone you want to leave your legs wide open against. So yeah, he got kind of.
So is this Wolnick? Is it something that's going to be happening on a semi-regular basis, or?
I mean, this was number 7, so.
Okay, when were the first 6?
Not a one-time thing.
Production looked great.
They've done a couple events. It took a while for them to get on my radar, but they put together some good matches.
Which is hard to believe considering you're literally a Russian operative. Sidikov beat Kady Magomedov pretty soundly yet again, right?
Yeah. I forget exactly what the final was, like 11-6 or something like that. But Sidikov's a freak. If you can pull this up, his leg defense that he hit on Cuddy Magomedov, like he kicks out Ben. Did you watch it at all?
I didn't know.
Like a donkey kick.
Yeah. Well, he's in midair. It's absurd.
Yeah, I don't know if Tyler can pull it up. All right, he's worried we're going to end up in jail.
I don't think the Russian Alrosa Cup is going to slap us on the wrist.
It's okay. We'll just keep it moving then.
Yeah, I don't think they have intellectual property rights in Russia, Tyler. So I think we're good. Let me look. I'll look up intellectual property rights.
Let's just keep
China.
it moving.
They definitely don't have it in China. They definitely don't have intellectual property rights in China.
Definitely not. It's all their property. It's great. Okay. In great news, in picks for the year, I have had a triumphant run, and I've now tied JD at 11-11 for our picks. I plan on passing him tomorrow, and then I will never look back. And I'll go wire to wire till the end. And Ben will lose because he only picks Missouri Tigers.
Well, I got hurt on this one because I actually didn't pick Noah Certain, and he beat Sam Latona. And I don't know why you guys picked Noah Certain over Sam Latona on that one, but you guys both did somehow.
Because the line was 2.5 for Latona, and
I still thought Latona was. I mean, Latona's obviously not the same guy as he was last year. He is. Is he under 500 right now? I will tell you in 1 second.
He might be.
Did he wrestle at the Southeast Open?
He did.
Latona is. He's 3-4 right now. So when you compare that to his 14-3 last year, or the 20-2 the year before, we're not getting the same guy anymore.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say anymore. Currently, that is true.
Currently, we're not getting the same guy.
Hopefully, he turns it around. I think that he will because it's very important to him, and he's good, and he'll figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, this is a guy who's an All-American as a true freshman, and ranked as high as number 2, and now he's 3-4 on his second, probably freshman season again because of the Corona thing. But
he was a redshirt, but yeah.
You would assume a good portion of it might be the weight. The man is huge.
Probably a solid assumption, I would guess.
125.
He's the biggest. He's the biggest there is. Okay, let's talk about the Jordan Burroughs Folkstyle rules.
Let's do it. I actually have some great suggestions for you, I think.
Okay, well, kick it off here. We got them pulled up.
Do we want to read through all of Jordan's first? Okay.
JB's Folkstyle rule adjustments. Neutral. 1. Pushouts will be awarded, but only on sequences initiated by leg attacks. 2. If the first period ends 0-0, both wrestlers will be given a stalling call. That's kind of great. Referee's position. 1. No more stalling from rear standing unless top man visibly forces opponent out of bounds from rear standing. He'll be called for stalling. If there's any break in action after the takedown or OOB stalemate stalling, the top man has the option to cut the bottom man without penalty. We got another. Or eliminate the point for riding time. Once 1 minute of riding is secured, all escapes afterward will not earn a point. It's interesting. And then there's miscellaneous. Headgear is optional. Reviews will be done by a third party. And overtime is no longer first score. You will wrestle entire 2 minutes, and the athlete with the most point at the end wins. These are JB's Folkstyle rule adjustments. Right. He wants us to discuss, so that's what we're going to do. We listen to Jordan.
So, let's see. No more stalling from rear standing is bad because that has really, I don't know if we remember, say 8 to 10 years ago when there wasn't stalling there, and it was really difficult for people to get escapes because that is a position in which there is a huge advantage to the rear person, and the stalling actually kind of makes it even a little bit. I do not like it, and some of the refs are really coming around when the bottom guy is literally just trying to block and not do anything, and then the ref calls for stalling. So I like that a lot of the refs are holding the stalling call on that. That being said, I do like the part where he says that I clicked off him. Sorry, back here. Where I do like the part where it says if they force them out of bounds, because that to me is the worst stalling in wrestling is when the top guy pushed the bottom man out of bounds. They never, ever, ever call that. So I like that part.
One this weekend. and I was thinking about you. It was during the finals, and I was like, nah, Ben's probably freaking out if he's watching this. I can't remember which match
annoying.
it was. It was a bad one.
Happens a lot. So let's talk about that.
So where guys,
one.
where the bottom guy walks out of bounds too.
Well,
It is much more often that the top guy walks them out of bounds.
Why would the bottom guy? No, JD, that doesn't make sense. Why would the bottom guy?
I know
walk
why,
out
but it
bounds
happens.
So but it doesn't. It doesn't, because then he would just go back on.
I know,
bottom
he goes back down, and he did the work to stand up.
It wouldn't make any sense. That's so rare that happens. It's really infinitesimal. The one situation where that does happen a little bit, and I would say they're not on their feet, but and this is so annoying because the fans are so freaking stupid in this. 90% of them, when the bottom guy is on bottom and the top guy has his legs sticking back in bounds, right? You guys visualize what I'm saying here, and the bottom guy crawls out of bounds, and the whole crowd goes, "Boo! He's crawling out!" And it's like, you freaking idiots. If the bottom guy did something good right now, the top guy would just pull his foot out of bounds and negate anything good that the bottom guy did.
He can't score.
So he can't score. So literally the only thing at that point in time the bottom guy can do is crawl out of bounds. So if you boo him, you are, in fact, a moron.
Boo yourself.
Well, it's the same. It's the same thing as like when you
stupid.
like kick out of a leg now, and then you get called for stalling because, like, the guy then continues his shot or walks out of bounds, and it's like you get called for stalling, and it's like, yeah, but I did the proper defense. It just happened to be on the edge. Whereas if I worked back in, I'm literally working back into his shot.
Yeah. So let's. I guess I don't think we have too much agreement on it. Let's talk about number 3, because I think under referee's position, number 3, and I'm not really sure. I don't think this should be in referee's position. This should be kind of just general. So if there is any break in action after a takedown or stalling out of bounds, stalemate, the top man has the option to cut the bottom man without a penalty. Now, I don't like this at all because obviously, say I take JD down in the first period and he gets an escape. I take him down again and he gets an escape. And so it's 4-2.
Yes.
It's 4-2. It's 4-2. And now let's just assume the second period goes scoreless. Now the third period, he gets a takedown with 15 seconds left. Okay, so now it's 4-4. And I would have the chance to now win the match by making it 5-4, but he got the takedown on the edge. So he just gets to let me go without any thought of a penalty point, or not a penalty point, but me getting an escape to keep the match tied to push into overtime. Like, that's not how Folkstyle wrestling is supposed to go. And so this notion is completely arbitrary because you get a takedown on the edge. Now all of a sudden that could be a 2-point takedown versus a 1-point takedown if the bottom guy gets the escape. So I think he kind of addresses it. And so I think we could actually cross out number 3 and then just move to the or part of it. I think you could even make this maybe less. Like, if the top guy stays on top for 30 seconds after the takedown, the bottom guy no longer gets to earn an escape point. So now what this would then create is the top guy would be more apt to let the bottom guy go because now it is a 2-point takedown and he can continue to work versus having to give them the point. So I do like that he put the or there, though. So I really don't like the first number 3. I think that will lead to a lot of arbitrary scoring changes just based on where and or when the guy gets the takedown. But number 3, the second,
that happens in Folkstyle now, Ben. Though, in terms of when the takedowns take place, that's like that's one of my gripes about the scoring is you can have a 2-1 takedown advantage, but because you got a takedown at the end of the period, it's worth more. But that's part of the strategy, though. So I don't know if it's any more arbitrary than the other.
Well, obviously I thought about that, but I don't know that there's any way to do away with a period system and just make it one longer chunk. That's the only way you could do away with that.
It's JD's idea.
It is my idea.
He just wants mega match.
I want no period breaks.
If you would do after the 30, if you said, if I take you down and I ride you for 30 seconds, I could obviously continue to stay on top if I want. But once that 30-second hits, you no longer get an escape point. Mm-hmm. And this could be when you choose bottom of the second period also. If I ride you for 30 seconds, you don't no longer get an escape point. Because then you would also not have guys choosing bottom because they're like, well, if I get ridden for 30 seconds, I'm not getting a point, right? So they would be more likely to choose neutral or choose something else. Maybe even choose top because if they ride for 30 seconds, that guy doesn't get a point, and they would have then the opportunity to turn someone. So I actually kind of like that 30 seconds. And obviously, if you get it at the end of the period, to your point, lots of times the period runs out, the guy does not get the chance to score the escape point because of short time. So obviously you wouldn't have the 30 seconds at the end of the period. But I think that could honestly solve a lot of the issues.
So with neutral, he talked about push-outs a little bit, but he said they have to be from leg attacks, which I don't think I agree with that part.
That's because too up for interpretation.
Well, that's true. And two, I don't like the idea of I get to an underhook, I'm super aggressively working double unders, and a guy can just back out of bounds, which is something.
Yeah.
Well, then you can get hit for
a headlock. Or I get you in for a headlock, and you start backing out from the headlock. I mean, we see that one currently where the guy's back. I mean, we see that one in freestyle because they drop to their knees and they back out. It's crap.
Yeah, for sure. So I would like just a blanket step out point. I think that would be a little more simple. I get what Jordan wants there, which is we want guys initiating offense, scoring points. And I think in general that's probably what would happen because in freestyle, I think that's generally what you see. You don't see, it's very rare you see guys just like getting a collar tie and driving someone out of bounds, or even the underhook example, I think is probably more rare. Because
people got so good on the edge, Christian. I mean, I don't know if you can remember all the way back to 2006 and 2007, but when these rules were instituted, the edge skills weren't anywhere in the same ballpark of what they are right now. People have realized the importance of the edge stuff, and people are really good and tactical with underhook, overhook, seatbelt position, that type of stuff. Like, it is freaking hard to push them out on a high level.
Yeah. I love the idea of reviews done by third party.
Yes,
that just makes
hard.
sense. But it's a resource issue, I'm sure, in general. Sometimes I don't.
You could do it for the big tournaments, probably.
Yes, NCAAs and all conference tournaments, I think, should have third party review, and maybe conference duels. So that'll
be hard for small conferences, though.
Yeah, perhaps.
I mean, if there was some way to systematize hey, there's going to be 10 duels starting at 1 o'clock on a Sunday, and there's going to be 2 refs in a booth somewhere, and they're going to have all the streams.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Okay,
just
that'd be feasible.
Phone it into New York or whatever, and New York looks at it, and they make the call. And if you have 2 to 3 refs on standby at all times, just ready to watch, that would probably solve it for nationwide, considering there's not that many reviews. It's not like freestyle where there's probably a review in every other match because you get a challenge for every match.
Yeah, because the rules are more, I don't want to say more arbitrary, but there's definitely more gray area on some of the holds.
Yes.
I was actually surprised on the challenge topic. So I think that would work, right? So if you had, say, on Friday nights, 7 o'clock, that's when all duels started, or maybe there's a 5:30 start and a 7:30 start Central Standard Time or something, and so that way, you have 3 refs in a booth somewhere, and all the streams go through them. And then Sunday you could do the same thing. I was actually surprised by how few challenge bricks were thrown at I watched the 3 duels in Missouri. There was a few situations where I thought for sure brick should be thrown, and it wasn't thrown. And I was almost, I don't want to say puzzled by it, but I was like, wow, why didn't they throw that? It really was a situation where they should have done it. And so I was surprised by the hesitancy of coaches to throw it. And the second part of that would be maybe none of the calls that were appealed were changed because it was the same referee. So it's 3 of them, I believe. None of them were changed. Maybe that's why they don't want to throw it. They don't want to waste time.
Could be that. It could be, a lot of times I think they'll save them, especially if it's earlier in the duel, because they don't want, if they lose it, it's a big, they're worried about not having it in a really key moment that'll cost them the match or something.
Hey, oh my gosh, did you see this? Sorry, this totally just came up. Someone posted in the comments. WWE announces NIL deals with AJ Ferrari and Mason Paris.
Hey, in what?
It just says NIL. They have it as next in line, so I don't know if they're going to give him some money while he's in college or somehow reserve the rights to him afterwards. I don't know exactly what it's going to entail.
WWE today unveiled 15 college athletes who will be among the first to participate in the company's newly formed NIL program that provides a clear pathway from college athletics to WWE.
Okay.
I mean, they nailed it. Gable, Mason, and Ferrari. Who else would you sign? Those are the best 3 right there.
Yeah, Mason's a beast. I mean, so Well, AJ is obvious to me. In how much of it is just about being a good wrestler and athlete?
Probably none.
None. It seems to be highly correlated with their wrestling ability, Ben.
WWE ability?
Okay, actual wrestling, not whatever that is.
Well, I mean, this one is obviously.
Yeah.
But I would say just kind of over the course of time, if we think about, there's been a lot of high-level WWE guys who have been college wrestlers, but not like elite college wrestlers, like that Dolph Ziggler guy. He wrestled at Kent State, right? There's been a bunch of these type of guys. Jason Jackson was a dude from Indiana, I think.
Nathan Everhart, I think.
Nathan Everhart, yep. So there's been a whole bunch of guys who have had success in WWE without having a high-level college background.
Yeah, but these guys, I mean, Mason, Gable, and AJ are apex predators in wrestling.
Apex predators, yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I saw that and that was exciting. Back to the JB thing.
Our athlete partnerships will feature access to the state-of-the-art WWE Performance Center in Orlando, Florida. In addition to resources across the organization include brand building, media training, communications, live event promotion, creative writing, and community relations.
Community relations.
Upon completion of the NIL program, select athletes may earn an exclusive opportunity to be offered a WWE contract. So
nice.
It sounds like an Ultimate Fighter type deal where they kind of train them up. Okay, if you're good and we actually like you, then you can maybe get a deal.
AJ has to be the most natural fit in NCAA wrestling history for WWE.
His Instagram post last night was phenomenal because he used Many Men, one of the greatest songs of all time.
That is a good one.
Yes, while blasting a very large pistol.
Oh. So. Yeah, and I hear his firearm skills leave something to be desired from those that are a little more technical.
Yeah, I desire more.
Is that why you wore your camo hat today?
That's right.
Nice.
In solidarity.
Nice. Yeah.
With AJ Ferrari and all of our amendments.
What? He loves guns.
Loves guns.
Guns and emojis is what he does.
Sorry, my bad. I got us distracted. Let's go back to the JB rules.
Yes.
So I think he has some good suggestions in here. So I think the main ones for us that push out for sure. I think we all think that should be instituted. We were shocked when it didn't happen with the coaches panel. I think some type of, in maybe it's 30 seconds, maybe it's 45, but if the top guy stays on top for a certain amount of time, the bottom guy does not get an escape point, which then makes that a 2-point takedown. So you're emphasizing top skills because you're showing the skill to keep someone down. That's mine. I don't know if you guys agree with that one. And then the third one I would say would be, and he does not say this, but normal stalling called more often. The referees are too locked into the very specific stalling scenarios that are outlined without looking at the broader picture of, hey, someone is stalling.
John Kozak says the only big changes we need are the step out and then stalling to be called like it should.
I wouldn't hate that at all.
Yeah. And I think more first period stalling would be super helpful too. Just like
maybe something like a clock that like incentivizes them to wrestle, or you give up a point.
Oh wow, that's weird. That would never work.
Oh, okay.
At the highest levels.
Don't do that. That's dumb.
It's great.
It's great.
No, it's not. Great. It's dumb. It's arbitrary points.
It's not arbitrary.
Arbitrary.
Score.
Completely arbitrary. Headgear, obviously headgear. I mean, this is kind of like, well, I think headgear should also be banned. What do you guys think about his overtime is no longer first score? I love it as first score. It's very, it's a finite thing. When this happens, it's over. I don't want them to continue wrestling because if they continue wrestling, there is obviously a chance that they would be tied again, right?
Yes.
And if you do first score, then there is no possibility of a tie. It's just the first score. So I don't like that part of it. I think
what makes overtime really great and why people like overtime is that everything matters so much.
Yes.
That's what makes it exciting. That even a match that is 1-1 gets a little bit exciting in overtime because the next point wins, no matter what it is.
No matter what.
So if you're gonna have overtime, make it sudden victory.
Yeah, most of these overtime matches, and the problem is most of these
Tyler,
overtime
my volume
matches
went out.
in Okay, well, while they're fixing that, I think the problem is most of the overtime matches in Folkstyle are snoozers. So you just need to let it be the next point. It's not like we're keeping a 9-9 match going. It's normally like a 2-2, 1-1. I mean, most got to be over 50% of all overtime matches are 1-1 overtime matches where they just trade escapes.
I don't know about over 50%.
You don't think so?
No, that is very high. Even at heavyweight, I don't know if it's 50%.
Okay, maybe not.
Maybe at heavyweight it is close to 50%, but it's definitely not over half in all weight classes.
Okay, maybe not. Wait, I'll look at CKLV and maybe.
You go crunch the numbers, watch every CKLV match.
Well, I think there's a quicker way to find it out. You can just look in Arena, but.
No, you have to watch every match.
No, I'll watch every match. Crap, it's not going to overtime. Okay, I don't know if Ben can hear us again or not yet. He's furiously moving around in his sweatshirt. So while he's trying to do that, we'll move on to some other. We can get to any.
Well, I didn't get to my suggestion.
Go off, King.
So the whole thing about folk style is it's control. And if you get on top, the bottom man should have to earn his point on bottom. You shouldn't just stand him up. So what I want is a no periods, but there's no break at all. It's just a 6 or 7 minute match, but there is a 2 or 3 minute insta death riding time where you're awarded. It's like the same as a tech fall. I think Ben hears us, but now we don't hear Ben.
Classic.
Yeah, but yeah, because think about how into it you would get, if your guy's on top and he's approaching that mark, then riding becomes a little more fun.
It does. It's like the tiebreaker scenarios where guys are getting out of bounds.
Exactly.
You never see guys work harder on bottom than the 30-second tiebreakers.
Yes, and we're not just giving away escapes. That's basically what we do at the end of periods. Is okay. Now you just get out.
Yeah.
Because the period's over. Why? Because we get bored if one guy is on top for too long now, and we say he should just. Well, now he should get his opportunity. Why? He didn't get on top. He didn't earn a takedown.
Well, no one's taking. It's very rare guys would take top in that scenario when you've been ridden a while. Yeah. It doesn't happen.
The only possible downfall with this, in my opinion, is that guys will not shoot because they don't want to get caught underneath somebody forever.
Yeah. What, Ben?
Oh, I said the choosing top thing. The Navy kid just chose top against Evan Wick after riding him out.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Sorry, I couldn't hear you guys, and then after I could hear you guys, you couldn't hear me. I don't know what the freak.
Well, we're back on track now.
Did Ozzy unplug you?
No, he's at school today. I don't know what. I've been having some serious technical issues. I don't know. I need a Tyler at my house. Is what I need.
Okay, well, you know what? Tyler works and lives here, so you should just move
Tyler
here.
lives in Wisconsin.
No,
I'll
he's
come
here.
visit Wisconsin.
Tyler really wants to go to Wisconsin. He's from the Northeast. He misses the cold winters, I think.
I do love that JD brought up Instadeath. That was really good.
Instadeath is tremendous, in my opinion.
It's a great idea.
You should do it.
If you're gonna
have to call it that. NCAA, you can't steal this rule and call it, match elimination top criteria. Yeah. No, it's Instadeath.
It's Instadeath.
We are not moving. We will sue you.
Well, now we just have to decide what's the cutoff. Are we saying 3 minutes, 2.5 minutes?
I think it's 3 or 3.5.
3.5 seems to make sense to me because you rode for half of the match. I don't know why, but that just sounds good.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And think about when a guy's just breaking on bottom, how much fun that actually is now for the other team because you're literally you're watching.
Yeah. You realize how nuts the crowd's going to go once it gets over 3 minutes and you're ticking towards 3:30. The crowd's going to go flipping bonkers.
It's like watching a pin.
Yeah.
Yes.
Versus the other team is going to be yelling at your man, just get up.
Get up. And people ain't just going to go auto bottom anymore either.
Yeah.
Yeah, no one would go out, right? If you've given up minute and 40 ride time, you're not choosing bottom.
Breaks. I want 1 period.
Oh, yeah, 1 period. Well, I think that'll never happen.
Well,
one of the most annoying things about guys choosing bot, this happened a couple times in the Missouri duel, and I know from a strategic point of view, it's the right choice. But when one guy's kind of dominating the match and they're winning by 5 points, and they've been ridden for a significant portion of the time, and so they're already over the ride time point, and they choose bottom because it would make it harder for the top guy to major them. Do you guys know what I'm saying?
No.
Okay, so I'm beating JD by 5 points going into the third period. I already have a minute 20 ride time. Now, JD obviously I've ridden the crap out of him. He shouldn't choose bottom. That's not actually his best chance to win. But because his coaches don't want him to give up a major, they make him choose down because they know I'm probably going to have to cut him.
Yes.
And now he's down by 4, not down by 5. So I'd have to get an extra takedown to major him.
Or turn him,
right? But especially like if I've been on top for a minute 20, I haven't got close to a turn. That happened a couple times in the 3 dual meets at Mizzou. And
that happened with Keegan?
Happened with Keegan that happened. I think it was Keegan and maybe
he did get it.
Barely at the buzzer. But it was like this. The obvious reason you're choosing bottom is just to make him cut him so he gets an extra point. It's so annoying.
Yeah. Hey, are you dropping new Hodge rankings, JD?
This week.
Speaking of young Keegan,
he's got 100% bonus.
I know.
He by the skin of his teeth, he does. He made it happen.
Skin of his teeth. He went and got it done though.
Dude, he could wrestle the bull next week.
That would be tremendous.
That would be tremendous. I don't know if he matches up great or poorly against him. I'm really not sure.
I thought that was 2 weekends away.
Okay, yeah, I don't know when it is.
Well, we got a week and a half. It's a week and a half. Oh, it's on a Monday. Isn't it on Monday?
I want to say December 20th.
20th. It would be on the 21st if they were to wrestle.
That is a Monday and a Tuesday.
Oh, yeah,
I was unaware that was a Monday and a Tuesday.
So, yeah, no, that'd be awesome. Let's get it on.
What do you think about that matchup?
I'm pumped.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, that's like almost the match at 165 I want to see the most, just because kind of the contrasting styles. And can Keegan like get to a turn, get to a cradle maybe, and a scramble?
There's no way Bull wrestles him and wins. If he wins, it's because he stalled and wins 3-2. I mean, that's literally the only way he's beating Keegan.
Those are strong words.
I mean, that's the truth, guys. There's no way there's no way a bunch of wrestling.
You don't think Bull could maybe hit like a post high crotch?
He could hit one, but then if he could. That's what I said. He wins 3-2 because he stalls. He hits one and then he stalls out. That's literally the only chance. If he gets in wrestling sequences, he's not going to win.
Okay. Well, Alex Marinelli, if you're listening, there's some valuable advice from Ben Askren. He does not believe.
Well, I mean, they probably, if they're halfway smart, they kind of know that, and they were probably already planning on that. But hopefully, Keegan won't allow that to happen.
The Wick matchup is exciting to me for a different reason. The Bull one is just like, can this guy just beat up Keegan and just be like too physical and whatever, wear him out? Which I don't think you can wear out Keegan. But how does Wick match up? You know.
That's a lot of fun. I've already watched it a whole bunch of times.
Yeah, and you will give no details.
I will not.
That's garbage. That's garbage.
Hey, you know who Dad called me last night? Tony Negron's dad called me last night. I had a nice conversation.
Uncle Tony?
It was this dude. I met him
Rich
like
is in the
3
chat.
times.
Shout out Rich.
He was hilarious. I met him like Beat the Streets, maybe NCAAs. This dude's freaking wild.
What did he say about? What did he say?
He just said Tony's working his butt off. He said that's probably not the last time you're going to talk about him.
All right, let's go.
Yeah.
Love to see it.
That was fun.
Yeah. Okay, so thanks to JB for that segment. Fun talking about the rules.
That was fun.
Shout out Uncle Tony, Rich, Tony Jr.
I am surprised. Now that we bring it back up, guys, I am so surprised. I'm so surprised that they didn't institute the push-out rule last year. I'm really shocked that the coaches didn't vote that one through.
Yeah, I don't know where the opposition comes from. Who doesn't like it? Who likes it?
I really don't know.
Tradition.
Tradition. I would like to hear the perspective of the coaches that think instituting a push out would be bad and why? What they think would happen?
I would. Yes,
edge wrestling is the big argument. They lose out on edge wrestling, but it doesn't. It makes it so exciting.
It actually creates edge wrestling.
Yes. Instead of guys hanging out on the edge and then just like getting shot off, circling back in, whatever. Like you literally can't step out of bounds.
Yeah.
You have to like sprint back in.
Yeah, you're not going to need to get the edge takedowns because the wrestling is so much more likely to happen in the center because you literally get penalized for going out of bounds. Therefore, there is no impetus for someone to go out of bounds.
Also, you know what is super fun? When a guy's trying to push somebody out of bounds to see if they can stay in bounds.
Yeah, it is fun. And I don't know how many times I saw the guys get to a single and then just like the dude that's getting attacked just finds a way out of bounds. And now you have this really difficult proposition of finishing a single leg on the edge when the guy is almost completely out of bounds, pulling on a wizard, pulling away, which is like, quote, the proper defense. But I don't know, it just doesn't sit right with me. That should be something. Yeah,
that's one thing. My legal team, Tyler McCormick in Missouri, he brought up as one of the calls that annoys him most is when the bottom guy is relatively clearly fleeing the action or fleeing the mat, and the top guy doesn't quite get a takedown. By edge rules, that should be a stall warning on the guy who left the mat. But because the ref is just so focused on was it a takedown, was it 2 points, or was it not 2 points, they neglect to call the stall call. So and then it's funny, he talked about it in between the Mizzou and UNI duel, because it was Mizzou UNI VT, and then the last duel we were talking about doing that break point, and then it happened like 3 times in the last duel, and every time he's like, see, that never gets called right there.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would love to see the change. I don't know if it'll happen, but it would be cool. All right.
Rules are just getting more and more towards freestyle with writing.
Yeah, we'll see. I would like to see it. Hold
on. Sorry, just on that comment, JD. If you did the say 30-second ride or somewhere in there, and the bottom guy doesn't get the escape point, I mean that would really be in the spirit of folk style wrestling, right? Because the spirit of folk style wrestling is your ability to control somebody, and if you've shown the ability to control them for 30 seconds or whatever it is, then you're rewarded for such, right? Yeah. I mean
I don't hate to let a guy up. I do hate, or like. It becomes tricky then when it's like it has to be on a out of bounds or a stalling or a stalemate, and it does kind of have to be because like, can you just look up at the ref and be like, I'm done with this now? Or like, what if you're starting?
But that's why if the clock goes to 30 seconds, JD, right? If it says as soon as you get a takedown, boom, clock starts counting down from 30. When it gets to 0, that dude no longer gets the point, right?
Well, I don't like that on the basis of like if you are actually trying to ride and the guy escapes.
I can stay on top. I don't have to let him go.
I know you don't have to, but what if you want to stay on top and the guy escapes?
Too bad. You didn't need to do it within the first 30 seconds to receive the point. Now, JD, all you get now is your freedom. That's all you get.
Can't put a price tag on that.
Well, they do right now. It's 1 point.
Yeah.
Can't get a takedown, right?
I mean,
it really does make a lot of sense when you think about, in the spirit of folk style. The spirit of folk style is the ability to control somebody. If I control you for a certain amount of time, you don't deserve that point. I can then let you go, and my takedown is more valuable. I am rewarded for my top skills because we want to reward wrestling in all 3 positions. If you get taken down and you have good bottom skills, you're able to get an escape within that 30 seconds. Right? So then you're rewarded for your good bottom skills.
Yes, but in the spirit of folk style, even after 30 seconds, if your bottom skills prevail, I think you should get the point if you're actively trying to
how do you create the scenario where, so if we're saying we're not getting that point, you create the scenario where now the top guy is more incentivized to let you go because I don't give up a point and try to take you down again, right? So you create that. Right. You create action, right? So I'm going to try to ride really hard for 30, and you're going to try to escape really hard for 30 because of that point is hanging in the balance. So those things are going to happen. So I think you're kind of incentivizing a lot of things that we want to incentivize.
Now, you get rid of riding time point.
I would. Well, I would. If I'm making the rules, I'm going to do the insta death like you want. So I am also then incentivized to work towards that. That
to keep writing.
Correct. Yes.
If you think you can go the 3 or 3:30.
Yeah, but then the other thing that we talked about, you're not going to guys aren't going to want to choose bottom, because if you choose bottom, you suck and you're trying to get that free point. But if I ride you for 30 seconds, you don't get the free point.
Think about a scenario where a guy say we have 3 minutes insta death, where he has like 2:35 of riding time.
Yeah.
Like, you taking top?
Yeah, 55
Hell
seconds.
yeah, I'm going to try to finish you.
Oh, that'd be so tremendous.
Okay.
Yeah.
But what if you're only winning by 1 point and there's still the escape point?
Man, it's gonna be hard to ride someone for 3.5 minutes plus and only be winning by 1 point. I don't want to say it's impossible. It's not. It will be challenging.
Yes, correct.
Okay. Calling it.
Chris is done. He's done.
I'm done. I've been
instant
instant death minutes ago. It's been over. I'm getting my cool down in. I'm ready to move on. I want to get to some of these questions because there's some good ones in here.
Oh, hold on, John Kozak, you're smarter than this, baby. He said in the chat, imagine Taborg is trying to keep track of the 30 seconds. As soon as they count the takedown, we have computer
It's
programs
the same
now.
thing
This
right
is
now.
great.
Yeah,
as soon as the takedown hits, the clock starts.
Yeah, that's already a thing.
We have so many clocks in wrestling.
Many clocks.
We got clocks.
We have an instant death clock.
We got instant death countdown. We got 30-second countdown. We got riding time. We got
like a shot clock.
Injury time. Thankfully, no blood time. We would run out of clocks if we instituted blood time. Okay.
So many.
Remember when Shane Sparks theorized people were gaming blood time?
Yes.
Shane,
They're doing the WWE Razor bit.
Shane, that and your take that Gable didn't tech the Oklahoma State guy out of respect for John Smith. Those are two of the all-time Quake takes of Quake takes, Shane.
What about yesterday when he hopes his daughter comes home with Ryan Deacon?
Well, that makes more sense. Ryan Deacon.
What?
He loves Ryan Deacon. The guy loves Ryan Deacon. All right, there's worse choices in wrestling.
There'll be worse choices. You're right. Seems like a nice guy.
Yeah, from J Mossman 103. Would Nicky Wolverine technically be able to compete as an unattached headhunter at Midlands before his Michigan season actually begins to get some collegiate Folkstyle work in?
Technically,
there's no laws against that. I don't know if he would.
That'd be awesome. I don't think it's gonna happen.
I agree, but that would be sick and probably a worthwhile thing. But I don't see it happening. Callie Scruff wants to know if there's any chance Kennedy cuts out all food in his life and makes 157 for the Hawkeyes.
That would not be good.
He's big, man. I think he's a big 65. I think 57 would be like preposterous. He got big legs. Big legs.
I agree.
It's tough. I don't think it'd be possible. And if he somehow scientifically made it, I don't think he'd be able to beat Caleb Young down at the weight. It's like, yeah, he's better than Caleb Young right now, but he's also a bigger person.
There was another Hawkeye lineup question about, is Kimmer going 84?
Yeah. Is Nelson wrestling so much at 74 and not Abe? Do you think Kimmer would go up?
I thought you guys just said Kemmer waited at 74. Didn't you say that?
He did.
So it's probably not happening. But that would make more sense with Nelson wrestling 74 so much. But yeah, Kimmer.
I don't feel like Kemmer's a big 74. I mean, he wrestled 57. He was obviously a big 57. I don't think he's a big 74. When I look at him, he looks adequately sized, but not extra large.
I think he's good size 74. I mean, Starachi's a big 74. He looks big. So yeah, I don't think that's happening. If he hadn't weighed in at 74 already, I would say, I don't know, maybe he don't want to cut weight his last year, and for the lineup, maybe it's not that big of a difference. Although I would say he's probably less likely to win 184 than 174.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So I don't think he can be. I mean, there's a lot of monsters at 184, whereas it sort of feels like it's him and Carter, and then kind of like there's another rung. Like Labriola will be in the matches. Mekhi Lewis obviously is a national champion, but he just barely survived a Peyton Mako match. which makes me think.
I wish we had film. Can we get film of that when he does a single leg to the cradle? I want to see if you guys call it 2 or not.
I watched. I thought the match was well officiated.
Yes.
You would not have called 2 on that. It was very close.
It was close.
I will admit, I don't.
He never had the ankle though, or the.
Well, it's when he hits his button and he locks up the cradle, and it looks like for a split second, not very long. This is why I think it's questionable, and I'm trying not to be a homer here. He pops his hip up before too long. So obviously, once he pops his hip up, is obviously not a takedown at that point. But I think there is a second where he has the cradle and the guy's on his hip.
Yeah. I thought it was called correctly, but okay. Next question. Do you guys know why there were 2 refs on the mat for Jason Olaf's match at Wolnick event, and by the assistant ref was able to award a caution in 1? I don't know, because in Russia they do what they want.
Yeah, I think they were kind of experimenting with a couple rules too, possibly. I don't remember exactly this scenario, the assistant ref, but I mean, if they're going caution and if there's 3 in freestyle and the head one isn't going caution and 1 for passive, the other 2 are, they will get the mat judge's attention and make him and call it.
Yeah.
I want to do away with 3-man mechanics. I want to do away with them.
It's way too many. Is Missouri's Jaden Ironman going to be Yanni's only blemish on his 4-year career?
We almost had one last weekend.
Yeah, I'm not picking anybody to beat him.
Not picking anyone to beat him, but is he going to run the table? Is it, that's the question.
Yeah, I would lean towards yes. So is he's going to be cool with eligibility because obviously the Ivies have that league where you can't wrestle if you're a graduate, and now he's going to be his 6-year post high school.
But
fine.
They honor Olympic red shirts, which is what he did the last 2 years. So he'll be fine to compete 4 years for Cornell. It's like for me, yeah, Yanni had a close match with Bridge Lovett, but you have to come up with a list of guys who could possibly beat him. And I think it's a really pretty small list. And it's like, who's coming in that in the next, so not this year, so who would come in next year potentially that would add to it? Is there any 41s that could go up and make things interesting? I don't think so. The other
thing there, Christian. Yeah, the other thing there is he was without that penalty point. It's 2-1 versus Jaden Abbas, and obviously one takedown swings it. Now listen, I don't really think Jaden Abbas is taking down Yanni, but my bet would be no. The part that makes you nervous is that he is wrestling these close matches, right? If he was Zaning or David Tayloring people, I would have less worry about it because he is the best guy. But when he wrestles close matches, that makes me a little bit nervous.
Someone asked, and I can't find the list of how many people are poised for 4 or 5 NCAA titles at this point in time. Let me see if I can find that question because I liked it a lot. Because obviously Yanni can win 4. Makai Lewis can win 4. Spencer can win 4. Starachi can win 5.
As can AJ.
AJ can win 5.
Anyone who's a freshman now can win 4. Obviously, if you're not ranked,
yeah.
You're not. Like
they said, with already one title.
With already won a title.
The only ones that can win, already won a title, and okay, got it. Because obviously Keegan could win 4.
Yes,
he doesn't have a title yet though.
Yes. So is it? Yeah, here he goes. Spencer, Yanni, Carr, Makai, Starachi, Brooks, AJ. So AJ, Carter, can win 5. Can Brooks? No, Brooks had the Corona year in 2020. Yes. So those 2 could win 5.
2 of them could win 5, and that's it.
Oh, well, another one who hasn't won. Yeah. So no, Dayton had won last year. He would have had a shot, but he hasn't won.
Yes,
he has not won at this point. So that's got to be the most. Is this the most ever at one time where?
Yeah,
guys can win
but essentially, you got 2 tries at it.
Yes.
You got 2 tries at your first one. Like an Aaron Brooks, for example.
some of them. For some of them,
yeah. Because you got the extra year. Well, Aaron Brooks
not
would not
Spencer.
be because he didn't wrestle that. He didn't have an NCAA tournament his real freshman year.
True. So you didn't. I don't know. I wouldn't say that they have. Any of these guys entered NCAAs and not won. Mackay is the answer.
Mackay has.
But all the others have only won NCAAs when they've entered it.
Well, Carr and Brooks likely would not have
I think Brooks would have won his freshman year. He was my pick.
Going into it, they would not have been the number 1 seeds.
True. But Brooks had won Big Tens. And, yeah, David Carr, that's probably a fair example.
Yes.
But we also don't know.
We don't know.
Who was it? That was supposed to be Ryan Deacon.
He was
undefeated that year.
He had beaten Hidley and Carr at Kilby.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Carr would have been the 3, Hidley or 2. They would have been Hidley, Carr would have been the 2-3, and then Deacon would have been the 1.
Yeah. So we don't actually know. But yeah, I can't imagine there's ever been a time where there've been this many that are poised. The question is how many of them get it, right?
Yeah, I mean, so obviously Carr, Mackay, Srirachi, Brooks, and AJ are all at one of the 4, right? And there's been quite a few historically, maybe not at the same time, but historically there's been quite a few people who have gotten to 1, right? Like I say, Imar got to 2 and then didn't win the last 2, and the other guys have done that. So I would say a couple of them are going to do it. Obviously a lot of them seem like the best at their weight class, but just, like Mackay and Straki obviously can't, right? They're the same weight class. Brooks and AJ, right? Because we were surmising Brooks may go up. They could potentially be at the same weight class. I will say, not excluding Yanni and Spencer, because I think they both probably do it. I will say 2 of the 5 do it.
Yeah, Carr's going to be interesting because just Deacon, can he beat him at NCAAs, right? Yeah. But then after next year, I'll be curious, does he move up or does he stay down at 57? Because if he gets it done this year and he just stays at 57, because if he has 2 at that point, he might want to stay down and then see if he can get 4 that way. But I don't know if that's in the cards for him. I'm surprised. I figured he would have moved up at this point in his career based on just the cut his freshman year or what I kind of understood about it. But seems to be making him. He recovered fine off the scale against Young. He looks great at the weight. AJ, I wonder, is he going to be in college 4 more years? Might he just move on to his next phase after 4 years of wrestling?
He's been talking about being a 5-timer.
Love it.
I say no.
It's in his brain.
Especially because the NIL deal, he can make some money before he moves on. He gets to make money and try to win NCAA titles. So I say no. He's still.
If you're gonna move on after 2 or 3. But if you do it 4 times, it's like
you gotta go for 5.
You gotta go for 5. You're gonna be like, it won't be able to.
A question for me is, how are we going to view a 4-timer with 5 chances if that happens?
I agree.
That's an interesting thing because because with last year not counting, someone like Aaron or Carter or AJ could lose 1 and still be a 4-time champ. We're definitely going to, I don't know if asterisk is the word. What'll be interesting is if one of them wins 4 and they lose going for their 5th.
Yeah.
That would be, but they'd still have 4.
They still have 4. Yeah, how would
4 and 4 tries.
4 and 4 tries. It's like 5th doesn't count. Wasn't trying. They could literally think about the wrestlers that are going to be involved in that conversation. Like that could be knocking them off. Like who's AJ Ferrari going to be wrestling in? 20. What is that? 4 years.
Well,
from
Rocky
now?
Elam is the same grade as him, and that's a junior world champ. Someone who's really good. Obviously, he hasn't figured out the AJ puzzle yet, but he's going to be trying for the next 4 years.
Mm-hmm. So it'll be.
And the other thing is injuries too. We got to worry about Mackay Lewis injury thing.
Yes, AJ had the turf toe. He had to go to get Colombian stem cells for his foot. Spencer's obvious his injury is going to be that's going to be the biggest obstacle, and not to be dismissive of anyone at 25, but the biggest thing for him to overcome is his injury for him to win his 4th title.
Nick Soriano's there.
Soriano does exist. For sure.
Does he though?
Yeah, it's fun. Fun to talk about.
So fun.
Next question from Connor for real. First and most important question. We were promised regular doses of Bracky at
This
Kyle
is true.
Bracky. We've been given 0 Bracky. Get him on the phone, send a text, put something on the books, and give us the Bracky that was promised.
Bracky's a busy man.
He's a busy man.
You should get him on the show next. Let's play this for next week, Wednesday.
I'm gonna
Get
call
him on
him.
the show
I'm gonna call him right now. Let's see if he
right
answers.
now, live on
Live
air.
on air.
Yeah, let's see if he answers. Kyle
He
Bracky.
definitely knows
He
the
better be
show's going
watching
on
us.
right now.
Yeah, he better be watching.
Better be watching.
We'll see. He might not answer. I don't know.
What's up?
Oh, Bracky, you're on FRL right now. Don't say anything inappropriate.
Oh, hot mics.
Hot mics. What's going on, man? People are wondering. You know, there's been no Bracky on the show. What's going on? So I said I'd come straight to the source. How are things in West Virginia?
Things are going pretty well. Had a little bit of a rough weekend back in Athens, but we're back to work and hoping to get things turned around here and get a healthy lineup out there.
What did you do when Brittany got freed?
When Brittany got freed, I was popping bottles of champagne.
Bracky, did you see that last video of her from like this past weekend? Just yelling curse words and slur words.
Listen, she can do whatever she wants now.
That's true.
And
That video is absurd, though.
that's what we fought for.
Bracky's never been prouder. It's like,
That's what we spent hours and hours of our time for, millions of our dollars for.
millions.
I mean, I'm broke because of this, but
Yeah,
it's all right. She's free now.
she's free. It was worth it. What's Hayden getting for Christmas? What are you getting that wild man?
Nothing.
Nothing.
No.
He's sweet. That's
You spent all the money on Brittany legal fees, and now Hayden doesn't get a Christmas.
He won't even remember this Christmas.
Yeah, he won't
can get him
remember.
nothing. Christmas doesn't
that's what-
exist.
It's what he got for Christmas, Brittany being free, knowing that his dad was a part of that.
Yeah, that's the ultimate gift.
Something you can hang your hat on.
Good for him. Well, okay. Well, you should come on at some point if you ever get a chance, Kyle. I'll ask you formally. We can formulate a plan if it's legal. I don't even know if it's allowed in West Virginia law or the university. I think it's probably fine, but who knows?
I got to go through like 7 layers of compliance now.
Yeah, I know. Now you're all like big. I don't know when I'm probably not gonna see you till NCAAs because I'm not scuffling. I'm not gonna be a scuffalonian this year.
You're not gonna be in the Noog.
No Noog. This is the first time since I've been at Flow I won't be in the Noog for the time they have the scuffle because we have the Arizona State Michigan duel. I don't know if you heard about that, but that's gonna be it's on January 3rd, so it's not gonna work out. But NCAAs.
I'm getting some extra Noog this year because Chattanooga is coming here right before a scuffle for a duel, and then we're going to the Noog. So a lot of Noog.
Heck yeah. Sounds like an awesome schedule.
Stay Nugan.
Well, cool. I don't want to keep you. I know you're busy directing all the operations in West Virginia. So thanks for answering, though. I'll talk with you later, man.
Yeah, good talking with you boys. I'll come on soon. We'll maybe do like an alien hour or something too.
Let's
We can
do
talk
it.
More.
Yep. Sounds good, buddy. All right. Have a good day.
All right, see
All
you
right.
guys.
See you, buddy. All right, there. He's fine. He's healthy. He's doing what he loves, loving what he does.
Or is that a fake Bracky?
Was that a fake Bracky? Was that a deep fake of Bracky? Oh, no. Brittany looks...
Yeah, we cannot play this. I'm just sending it to Bracky to discuss.
No. Oh, no.
You should hear what she's saying.
She looks... I think we're maybe getting
Unwell.
It's funny because...
Hey,
Go ahead.
sorry, I don't want to talk. I don't want to steal the Brittany talk. I know we love it. I'm scrolling through the questions. Is this really true? NCAA is looking into suspending brands.
No way.
That's
That's
well.
just-
You put it in the doc, not me.
I wasn't going to ask that. There's no...
Well, is it
what
true
even
or-
happened?
is-
What is there to investigate? Nothing happened.
Well, we couldn't see the video. Maybe he punched someone. We don't even know.
Oh, stop.
Well,
There's no punches.
And we
I
did see the
made that up.
video.
Listen, if there was a punch thrown, Dresser would have said it immediately, around 500
Yeah,
times.
no,
There was
I have
lots
no
of
idea.
videos of everything that
And then,
happened.
yeah, there's also thousands of videos.
Thousands. We'll never know.
Okay.
A lot of chest buffing happened.
A lot of chest puffing. All right.
A lot of peacocking.
The other one I really like this question, and I'm sure there's a few Big Ten weights, but is there a more competitive weight class than the Big 12 conference at 197? And it is. It's good. It's really good.
It's very good. However, Big Ten heavy and really Big Ten 141 are both insane. But very competitive weights, and in some ways, it's Big Ten heavyweight is not as competitive because it's like there's such a dominant force there with Gable.
Yes.
Whereas like 197 Big 12 is like, shake them up.
I'll read them off for you. Ready?
Yeah.
You got Ferrari at 1. You got Elam at 4. You got Buchanan at 6. Woodley at 8. Bastida at Pence at 13. Bastida at 14. And Utah Valley's Big 12 now, right?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Utah Valley. So Utah Valley 23, Northern Colorado 24. So Tanner Sloan, honorable mention. A lot of good dudes.
Indeed. Yeah, that's a really fun weight. But AJ,
What do you think Noah Adams to come back?
I know. I didn't want to ask him about that. It's got to hurt.
R.I.P.
Miss Noah. He's the last man to beat Albert in Folkstyle.
He's the only person, right?
The only person ever. Who are the top 5? Oh, go ahead.
In college, he only has one loss, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
True freshman national champ. Who are the top 5 FRL guest appearances? I don't know, but Jordan.
I'll tell you number 1.
Yeah.
That's
Johnny
also
the
worst one. That's the worst one.
You know it. You're welcome, Christian.
Dave Burroughs. One of the worst. Yeah.
Number 2, Johnny.
How many views does that show have? I want to look it up. I bet it's
dozens.
Insane.
Dozens.
Dave Burroughs. I wonder if it'll show up if I search this.
On YouTube?
Wow, only 112,000. No, 100. Oh, there's 2 videos. 180 on YouTube. I bet it's way more on Facebook.
Don't forget Spotify, iTunes.
Yeah.
The website.
SoundCloud.
Wow.
All right, now you're listening to it. Look at that.
Oh, 2 videos. No, I'm listening to myself talk about this because I clicked on the search button and it put the volume back on. Because I try to follow. Listen, I'm a man of the people, Christian. I try to follow the comments, but obviously you gotta mute them, right?
Yeah.
Because, yeah.
So I'd say, Ben, you were a big guest when it happened.
Oh yeah.
Back before you were fully on the show. Chael is something else when he's been on the show. Those are probably best. And, you can't forget Johnny from Roanoke, the scumbag that called me from his actual cell phone number, so I then harassed him for weeks afterwards.
You should give it out on the show right now.
I don't think I have it anymore. I think I stopped calling it.
Dang it! If I search FRL 484, it doesn't freaking come up. It's so annoying.
That was 484. We've done so many shows since then. That's insane.
So many shows.
We are Iron Man.
Yeah.
Okay. Next question before we get out of here. Cornell situation. Vito coming back to action at 25 or 33. Good question. I kind of want. So we saw LaJoy at 33. He's solid. Greg went 0-2. He lost to Heinzelman where he got the first takedown, and then he lost to Jeremiah Reno. So I don't know. I don't know what Vito's going to do. I kind of hope he goes 25 because that would be just exciting and interesting, but I'm not sure. No inside info there. It was interesting. I didn't realize this, but CKLV had 10 champions from 10 different teams. That's pretty.
Wow.
That's kind of wild, right?
Yes.
It's really cool.
So wild.
All right. Anything else before we
Someone
get out
help
of
me
here,
find this episode on Facebook. I bet it has so many episodes views. You guys, Christian, you remember during Corona, there was nothing for anyone to do, and we were getting hundreds of thousands of views just on Facebook every show.
I know, it was nuts. The algorithm.
That was nuts.
Yeah, it's just Facebook, however they did the algorithm at that point in time was just super beneficial to whatever we were doing. I don't know why.
Well, I think it was a lot just because people were literally had nothing to do in there. They were at home. I mean, people weren't going to their jobs.
We were welding people inside their homes. Can't go out.
I mean, it was, not ideal for everyone, but it was ideal for our show because we had a whole bunch of episodes that were over 100,000 views just on Facebook.
That's wild. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
It was fun. All right, well, let's go. It's Wednesday. It's 9:30. We'll be back
make
tomorrow.
Some picks tomorrow.
Weekend preview. JD's got some picks. I'm going to pass you, Ben. Once and for all, we're
going to talk a little Iron Man. David Brace.
Very well.
David Brace here to talk Iron Man, not just the triathlon, the wrestling tournament. Be very exciting.
Nice.
Hope you guys have a great Wednesday. We'll be back tomorrow. See you then. Thank you so much. Goodbye.